The night my son shoved my suitcase into the porch and slammed the door in my face, he said something I will never forget. "Dad, you've served your purpose. We don't need you anymore." His wife, Chloe, stood behind him with folded arms, smirking. As if throwing me out of the very house I paid for was some kind of victory. I stood under the flickering porch light, heart trembling, holding the last of my things in a cheap grocery bag. But what they didn't know was this. I wasn't just walking away. I was preparing my revenge, quiet, legal, and devastating. The story. My name is Martin, 62 years old. A retired electrician, widowed, and a father who made far too many sacrifices without ever asking for anything in return. After my wife passed, my son Ethan begged me to move in. "Dad, you shouldn't be alone. We'll take care of you," he said. I believed him. Maybe I needed to believe him. At first, things were warm and comforting. I cooked clean, paid for groceries, handled repairs. It felt good to be useful. Then usefulness turned into expectation. Electric bill, my responsibility. Gas bill, mine. Mortgage, suddenly mine too. All of it. Whenever I hesitated, Chloe would shrug and say, "You have more money than us." I convinced myself it was temporary. That's what parents do. We justify pain to protect our children. But then came the cracks. The shift. Chloe complained I took up too much space. Ethan suggested I get out more. They started closing their bedroom door. Stopping setting the dinner table for 3. Acting like I was a guest, overstaying my welcome. And one night I heard the truth. I walked down the hallway and overheard them whispering in the kitchen. "Chloe, he's old, he's slow, and he pays for everything. Just get him to sign the refinance papers, then tell him to leave." Ethan laughed. My son, my only son, laughed. "Yeah," he said, "he'll sign anything, he always does." My chest tightened. I stepped back quietly, heart breaking silently. I didn't confront them that night. Instead, I made a plan. The expulsion. A week later, Ethan came to me holding papers. "Dad, this is just refinancing. Better rate," he said casually. I looked at them. They weren't refinance papers. They were house ownership transfer papers. They wanted the whole house. My house. The home I paid for. My hands trembled. "Ethan, what is this?" He shrugged, pretending to be confused. But Chloe didn't pretend. "It means sign the house over," she said. "We're starting our lives. We don't need an old man living here." I whispered, "I'm not signing anything." Her expression turned ice cold. The next morning, the betrayal was complete. My suitcase was packed without my permission. Thrown near the door. Ethan handed it to me silently. "You need to leave," he said. "We talked about it, you don't own anything here." Chloe added, "That was your choice to pay for everything, now go." They pushed me out. Closed the door. Locked it. And I stood there, 62 years old, homeless, humiliated, heartbroken. The broken father. I sat on the curb for an hour, gripping my suitcase, trying not to fall apart. I stayed in a cheap motel that night, staring at the stained ceiling. But something inside me hardened. They thought I was weak. They thought I was dependent. They thought they could control me. They forgot one thing. I kept every receipt. Every bank transfer, every mortgage record, and my name was still on the deed. They kicked out the wrong old man. The notice. A week later, Ethan called. "Dad, we missed a mortgage payment. Why didn't you pay it?" I felt a smile forming. "I don't live there anymore," I said. "Why would I pay for people who kicked me out?" Chloe grabbed the phone. "You can't just stop paying. The house will go into default. That sounds like a YOU problem, I replied calmly. But that wasn't the end. The next day, they received a legal notice. Not eviction. Not repayment. Something worse. A forced sale filing. My wife and I had set it up years ago for protection. As a co-owner who was illegally removed, I had the right to demand the house be sold and the profits split. Half the value of a $380,000 home. About $190,000 to me. They would get the rest. After penalties, missed payments, and legal fees. The courtroom. When we went before the judge, Ethan looked pale. Chloe looked like she wanted to claw through the walls. The judge asked, "Mr. Harris, why did you request a forced sale?" I replied calmly, "Your Honor, my son and daughter-in-law forced me out. They demanded ownership transfer. They removed my belongings without permission. I cannot safely live there." Chloe snapped, "He's lying, he left on his own." I handed the judge the audio recording. The one from the night they plotted against me. Their voices echoed through the courtroom. Crystal clear. The judge leaned forward. "Forced sale approved. Mr. Harris is entitled to 50% of the proceeds." Chloe gasped. Ethan lowered his head, ashamed, or maybe just afraid. The aftermath. After court, they ran up to me. "Dad, please don't do this. We made a mistake," Ethan begged. Chloe forced her voice to crack, pretending to cry. I looked at my son, but I couldn't find the boy I raised. "I gave everything," I said quietly, "and you threw me out like garbage." I turned and walked away, leaving them behind. For the first time in years, I felt light. The new beginning. With my share, I bought a small cottage near a lake. It's peaceful, warm, quiet. I planted a garden. I make coffee on the porch every morning. I breathe again. Ethan texted once, "Dad, can we talk?" I stared at the screen for a while. Then typed, "When you understand what family means, you'll know where to find me." I didn't block him, but I didn't rush to reply either. Some wounds heal slowly. Some lessons take a lifetime. The moral: never betray the ones who built your foundation. Never use the hands that raised you. And never underestimate a quiet heart that's been pushed too far. Because sometimes, the calmest storms create the strongest waves.